Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff with StriveScan. I want to welcome you to the Hawaii ACAC Virtual Fair this afternoon. Appreciate you joining us. As a reminder, if you haven't participated before, all of your cameras are turned off and your microphones are muted. You can ask questions at any time of any of the institutions, whether they've presented or not, in the question and answer box below. This afternoon, we have 6 institutions: Colorado State University, Pueblo, Southern Methodist University, Linfield University, Embry Riddle Aeronautical University, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and Westminster College. Without further ado, we'll start off with Colorado State University, Pueblo.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jeff. Hi, everyone. Aloha. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us. My name is Noelle Clark, and I'm the Regional Admissions Counselor for Colorado State University, Pueblo, which is a small public university located in Southern Colorado. I have worked with CSU Pueblo for the last 5 years. I'm a proud CSU Pueblo alum, and I've worked with students from Hawaii my whole time at the university. So I love working with you guys and welcoming you guys to our PAC family as CSU Pueblo students. So like I mentioned, we're located in Southern Colorado in Pueblo. So we're about an hour and 45 minutes south of Denver, 45 minutes south of Colorado Springs, and about 45 minutes away from the mountains in 3 different directions. So we have all those great activities, outdoor activities that Colorado is known for: hiking, camping, rock climbing, just in our own backyard. We do have an airport in Pueblo, which does have direct flights from Denver. So it is pretty accessible to get to us, even coming from Hawaii. We have just about 4,000 students total. So that means your average class size is just about 21. So you're really in those nice small settings your entire way through. My entire 4 years as a student, I only had 1 class that had more than 30 students in it. So you really do get to know your professors, your classmates, and build that relationship with them, which really can help enhance your education when your professor knows who you are. We have a pretty diverse student body in general, with 32% of our student body being the first in their family to go to college, 47% of our students being students of color, and students from 40 different states and 40 different countries, including Hawaii on our campus. We have about 80 different areas of study total with all of our majors and minors, and we're pretty comprehensive. So regardless, across the board, what you want to study, we offer a little bit of everything. This slide right here lists some of our popular and unique programs, and just to highlight a few that lots of students from Hawaii come to us for, include our nursing program, which does have a handful of direct entry spots and is nationally ranked, our engineering with a specialization in mechatronics, our business program, which does include marketing and management, different areas within there, as well as biology and psychology are some of our popular ones, and media communications. But one of the best things about all of our programs is we really make sure every education has some sort of hands-on component tied in with it. So even from your very first semester, you're not just sitting in the classroom in lectures. If you're a teaching education student, you're in the classroom shadowing other teachers. If you're a nursing student, you're in our simulation labs, your first class. You're getting that experience to have that hands-on component. And that also includes our research opportunities that you have as students. Even as early as your freshman year, you can do research with our professors. We even renovated a building this year on campus that now it only has 2 classrooms in it, because the rest is all lab space, which includes our simulation labs for our nursing program, as well as our brand new 4 state-of-the-art psychology labs. We also have a really great internship program set up within internships within Pueblo, within Colorado, and across the country. I like to highlight one of ours that is a partnership with the Smithsonian. So we send students every single summer, all expenses paid, to Washington, D.C. to work with the Smithsonian for the entire summer. That's really popular with our history, media communications, political science students. So that's a great opportunity for any of those. We are Division II for athletics, so we do have 21 different NCAA teams, 75 plus different clubs and organizations. So there's plenty of ways for you to get involved on campus as a student coming from out of state. We are a WUI school, part of the Western Undergraduate Exchange. And for us at CSU Pueblo, it's completely automatic. So as long as you're accepted to the university and you're a resident of Hawaii, you're automatically coming in at that WUI tuition rate, which puts your total cost of tuition, fees, housing, meals, just about $28,000 a year. That's before scholarships and financial aid. So more likely than not, you'll see that cost reduced down quite considerably, making us a pretty competitive affordability option for out of state. Our automatic merit scholarships range from $500 to $8,000 a year. You get a $2,000 a year housing scholarship just for being an out-of-state student. And we have our own private scholarships that we award our students that range typically over $50 million a year that we're able to give to our 4,000 students. So we can really help reduce that cost down. We also give out a $1,000 a year first generation scholarship if neither of your parents have a bachelor's degree. So there's a lot of great ways to really make that accessible. I am going to drop my information in the chat. I do have on this slide, just in case there's any seniors, we are still accepting applications for this year for fall 2021. You can still join us. We are test optional for this fall. For any juniors, at the moment, we're not sure if we'll be test optional this coming year. We're waiting for direction from the state of Colorado, but keep us in mind if you're interested, and I'll drop my contact information in the chat as well and go ahead and hand it off to our next presenter. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Noelle. Next up, we have Southern Methodist University.
Aloha, everybody. This is Rick D from Southern Methodist University, and hope everyone's doing quite well this afternoon. I've been with SMU since 1991, and most of those years I go back and forth to Hawaii. In fact, my favorite tradition, we'll be asked about traditions at our own campus later on, but my favorite tradition, as soon as I land in Honolulu, I go directly to the Aiea Bowl and get me a big old bowl of garlic chicken. That makes me feel like I'm home. Anyway, you're going to have a great experience. I know there's some juniors and maybe some seniors in the group and some 9th and 10th graders. It's all about a journey. It's all about a story that everyone will tell about how they ended up at college. When I was first offered the position to work at SMU, I said no, because growing up in Los Angeles, I never had an idea of what Texas was all about. And I was a little nervous. Coming from East LA, I thought there's no way in the world I would go to a place with cowboys and big old blonde hair. And it was, so when they offered me the job, I said, y'all got to fly me out. I didn't say y'all because I didn't learn to say y'all till later on, but I said, you have to fly me out there to let me see what it's like. They flew me out there, and hopefully you can see behind me, and I'm going to change my perspective just a little bit, but this is the view that I had. I could actually see downtown. So that dome building at the very bottom of the picture is the main first building on campus. In fact, it is the highest geographical location in the city of Dallas. And so in the olden days, it was the first building on campus and there was nothing around it. And so everyone would see the light at this, what they call the hilltop. And that's kind of our nickname now, the hilltop. But from this perspective, you can see Dallas. And Dallas for us is a huge advantage for us. We are the only private university in the city of Dallas, and we really take advantage of that. We're a major center for a lot of corporations, and that's why students, when they do their internships, have immediate access not just to Dallas, but also to their regional areas that they might have locations for you to, including Hawaii, to do your internship. But back to my story, when they said, come out and see campus, I stood on campus and I took a deep breath and went, wow, this is what college should feel like, should smell like. And I was very impressed with everything that was going on. But then I said, wait a minute, Rick, you were a psychology major. If you had gone to SMU, what would your psychology major have been like if you had been at SMU? And so I got out the catalog, and for those of you that you're probably not old enough to remember, but these used to be these big ginormous books where you go through and look for all your courses. So I got that catalog, and now you guys do it online, but I got the catalog and researched what my experience would have been like, not just if I were a psychology major, but in any other department that I could think of. At SMU, we've got lots, over 100 different majors. What we're really known for is business, performing arts, communication, engineering, and all of them are hands-on. Almost every single major requires you to do either an internship, a research paper, a thesis, do some presenting at conferences, all kinds of opportunities, so that when you graduate, which is really important to us, when you graduate, you feel like you actually can do something and get a job. In fact, our engineers graduating from SMU have the highest salary of all of the majors coming to SMU. And so I encourage you to consider looking at SMU for engineering. But the other thing is that there are 2 direct flights, nonstop, not just direct, out of Honolulu and Kahului. So those are the 2 direct flights directly into Dallas. And so it will definitely be easier for you to come to campus than it will be if you're on Oahu, to actually be on the H1, and because I know what that's like in traffic. But we want you to come out. There are actually some really cool Hawaiian restaurants around campus. My favorite is this place that has some okay, and you will have great experience. About 6,500 undergraduate students, so you will not be by yourself, yet you will be by yourself in the sense that you will be living in a residential commons. And my camera is working wonky right now, so I'm going to see if I can't switch it to some other photos besides this great one that we have here. But you live in a residential commons, so you will feel like you're actually part of a community, and it gives you the sense, kind of like Hogwarts, where every one of them has their own sense of style, their own sense of a tradition and that sort of stuff. And here's one that may help a little bit. Actually show some kids walking around. And it's a great experience for students coming not just from Texas. In fact, we have more than half of our students coming from outside of Dallas. And the #1 area they come from is Southern California. And so it's not going to be this traditional, what you think you might be a Texas experience, though you will learn to say y'all and I'm fixing to, and maybe some other cute little sayings like bless your heart. But definitely it's a wonderful 4-year experience. And I encourage you to come take a look virtually. We are open. Next year, we will be test optional again, and we will work very closely with you to decide whether or not we encourage you to submit your scores or not. So I'm going to pass it on to the next presenter. We have some time at the very end to answer some questions. And aloha, mahalo.
Thanks so much, Rick. Appreciate that. Students, don't forget you can ask questions all along in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. Next up, we have Linfield University.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Patrick Wilson. I serve as the Senior Associate Director of Admission here at Linfield, and we'll get going here. Linfield is located just 1 hour south of Portland, Oregon, so along the west coast of the mainland US. Our main campus has just about 1,400 students. About 100 of those are actually from the state of Hawaii, and all Oahu and all neighboring islands are represented as part of our Linfield community. It's about a 189-acre campus, so lots of space. So even that small campus population, lots of space to spread out, as you can see. McMinnville's a small town, 33,000 residents, right in the heart of Oregon wine country. Great place for you to go to school and for your parents to visit, especially each spring for luau. 19 states overall represented. About 85% of classes have fewer than 22 students. So going to be a small experience all throughout those 4 years. And about 34% of our students are US students of color, with about 30% being first generation. So really nice diversity on campus. Our university now has 2 schools and a college. We actually changed our name back in July to represent our new master's programs, including one in nursing, exercise science, and a Master of Science in Business. But for undergraduates, about 43 majors coming out of our College of Arts and Sciences. This really is the home of the liberal arts at Linfield. School of Business providing some really great options there, mixing not only that very traditional business environment, but also bringing in courses from throughout the college. And then our School of Nursing, which is one of the oldest schools of nursing in the Pacific Northwest. We actually just moved just about 2 months ago to a new campus in Northeast Portland, moved from 2 blocks and 2 buildings to 20 acres and 10 buildings. So really excellent new space for the School of Nursing. Students actually do their first 2 years on our main campus in Mac. They finish prerequisites before moving up to Portland to finish those final 2 years. About 350 students are located on that Portland campus, all doing their final 2 years of their Bachelor of Science in Nursing. I mentioned we are a liberal arts environment, and for Linfield, that means a really deep and broad experience. You're going to spend about 1/3 of your education taking these wide variety of courses. One of the things I think is so great, you get to pick the classes that fulfill these. So we're not going to hand you a list of things to take. We're going to encourage you to really discover some options, discover some new interests, and hopefully help guide you all the way through. Collaborative research is a big component of the Linfield experience, not only in the sciences like these students or this student with a chemistry professor, but also throughout the arts, humanities, and the social sciences. We provide funding for this, and about 80% of our students are doing some sort of hands-on learning throughout their 4 years. So that certainly could be collaborative research, but it could also be internships. And we help students through the Career Development Office with internships locally in our community. One of the key things about being a small community, people really know each other and can help bridge some of those gaps to help you find things right in town, but certainly in Portland, as well as if you're heading home for the summer. Study abroad is also a big piece for us, and we're looking forward to getting students out around the world next year. But we actually do pay the first round trip airfare for all of our students who are studying abroad, whether that's a semester program or one of our January terms. So we've got some nice options just for a month abroad and to spend just 4 weeks traveling around with a professor and other students. In terms of life on campus, really robust campus experience. Students here doing some tie-dye work during our orientation this year. We've been really fortunate to be on campus learning this entire year with minimal cases, but doing safe practices like distancing and face coverings, but having opportunities for our clubs and organizations. So much of this is student-driven and student-led. And we're just really proud of our students for staying active and having opportunities to engage with each other. Residential as well. Students will live on campus at least 3 years, but most are living on 4. Pretty traditional residence hall. So especially for a student coming from Hawaii, you know you're going to have a place to live all 4 years and not have to worry about off-campus living and that sort of thing. We do have an unlimited meal plan for students on campus for those first 2 years, and then apartments for your last 2 years. So everything's just about a 5 or 10 minute walk from where you're living. Athletics is big at Linfield. 30% of our students are participating in NCAA Division III athletics. Great tradition of winning, particularly with football. Our football program has 64 consecutive winning seasons, which is more than any other college in the country, regardless of division, and definitely something that we look forward to carrying on once they're back in season. We are common application. We're not using test scores this year, and we're not using test scores next year. So applying to Linfield this and next will be test blind. We don't charge an application fee, and we do got a variety of application priority deadlines to look for. Lots of financial aid, of course, almost 99%, including merit-based, first-generation student awards, and need-based financial aid. And then finally, we're open for visits, and we'll open for full junior visits beginning in May. We do individual tours. So if you happen to be coming to the Pacific Northwest, say this summer, and you're hoping to see colleges, we hope you'll consider stopping by Linfield. We're an hour to the coast as well. So it can be a nice venture out of the city as you explore the Pacific Northwest. And so we're pleased to be offering that. I will also turn it over now to the next person, and thanks so much.
Thanks, Patrick. Appreciate that. Next up, we have Embry Riddle, Aeronautical University.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be here today. My name is Corinne. I am an Assistant Director of Admissions at Embry Riddle Aeronautical University, and my screen is not letting me share. Okay, well, that's fine. Let me try and share it one more time. Sorry for the technical difficulties. So Embry Riddle is a small private institution located in the mountains of northern Arizona. So we're about 2.5 hours north of Phoenix, about an hour and a half south of Flagstaff. So Prescott is a very central location in northern Arizona. We also have campuses on the Daytona Beach or in Daytona Beach, Florida, and worldwide. So we are a very world-based institution, and we are proud to offer all of the degrees that we do. We are #1 in aerospace engineering by US News and World Report, and we've held that ranking for not 1, not 2, not 5, but actually for 20 years. So we're really proud of that, to be consistently meeting industry standards. Here at our Prescott campus, we do have the first and only College of Security and Intelligence. That's a really great place to study if you're looking for a career in the FBI, the CIA, security, defense, anything like that. We have a pre-med aerospace physiology program at our Daytona Beach campus, the first and only of its kind. And we are an ABET accredited institution. So this is really important for any institution that you're looking at for engineering. You want to make sure that they're ABET accredited, because that's super, super important to employers. So all of our engineering degrees and our cybersecurity and intelligence degree are all ABET accredited. Our graduates yield among the top 1% of return on investment in the nation, and both of our campuses in Arizona and Florida are ranked highest for their level of quality and affordability. So outcomes, obviously, this is why you go to college, is to have a good outcome. And that's something that we're consistently outranking our competitors in here at Embry Riddle. We do have 94% of our Embry Riddle graduates enrolled in graduate school, continuing their education, or hired within their degree field within 1 year of graduation. So that's really important to note, because you don't want to go to college and then not get a job in something that you studied for 4 years. So our graduates are very dedicated to doing that. And a big part of that is our career services department. We host 2 career expos a year, one in the fall, one in the spring. And you can go into the career services suite at any time and get mock resume help, or mock interview help, resume editing. They can help you figure out what to wear for an interview. So we're really focused on getting our students that job experience before they graduate, or getting them prepared to graduate. We have a vast alumni network of over nearly 140,000 Forever Eagles. So we have a huge network for our students to connect with. We do have those 2 campuses. As I mentioned, our Daytona Beach, Florida campus is the bigger of our 2 campuses, around 7,000 students. Average class size is around 27. They're NCAA Division II for their sports, and they have Army, Air Force, and Navy ROTC. Here at our Prescott, Arizona campus, the smaller of our 2 campuses, 3,000 students. Average class size is around 24. I am a proud alumna of Embry Riddle myself, and I can honestly say that I think I've only had 1 class that had about 24 students. My smallest class was 3, me and 2 other people, so that was fun. We are NAIA for our intercollegiate sports here at the Prescott campus, so competing against other smaller institutions in this area. And then we also have Army and Air Force, ROTC. Both campuses have amazing opportunities to get involved, whether you want a religious organization, a professional organization, Greek life, or the Sweater Vest Club, who gives free hugs on Thursdays. We have it here at Embry Riddle. Some of our biggest degrees that we offer are aeronautical science. So that's our professional pilot program. As you can see, the pilot or the group of pilots standing there in that top picture. We have global security and intelligence studies, which is, again, as I mentioned before, a really great place to study if you're looking for a job in defense, security, or intelligence. We do also offer a CTI certified air traffic management program. We do have a new College of Business with 3 degrees in it, including global business, business administration, and aviation business administration. We have our engineering, of course, aerospace engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering, mechanical, computer, and software. So we have a ton of different options for engineering, as well as our arts and sciences college. So that's where you're going to find our simulation science, games and animation, which is essentially video game design. That's where you're going to find our forensic biology program, our industrial and organizational psychology. So tons of different options to fulfill your dreams here at Embry Riddle. And as I had mentioned before, we're very hands-on. We really encourage our students, and oftentimes it's built into the curriculum to have our students get those internships or do the research while they're on campus before they graduate. On both campuses, we do have an undergraduate research institute. Oh, there it goes. an undergraduate research institute, so you can, even your freshman year, do research and get published during your 4 years in your undergraduate degree. So that's really excellent to note, a great resume builder and great experience builder, truly. So application process. Well, we do have rolling admissions. So if we have any seniors on here, you still can apply to Embry Riddle. And if you're not a senior, we encourage you to apply during the fall of your senior year. Our application is online. We don't have the Common App or any coalition applications like that. So just go onto our website and apply. Send us your high school transcripts and any dual enrollment transcripts that you have, or if you're a transfer student, those transfer transcripts. Then 2 letters of recommendation. We are a test optional institution, so you don't have to send us your test scores, and then an essay or a resume. Not required, but strongly recommended. After all that is done, we will review your application as it comes in and then let you know what happens, probably within 2 to 3 weeks of us receiving your application. Any student who's accepted into Embry Riddle is automatically reviewed for our financial aid based on merit. So that is really great. You don't have to do any additional work. And from there are, of course, external scholarships that we will accept. And I strongly encourage you to fill out your FAFSA because that is the most helpful. So I am going to wrap it up, and I look forward to corresponding with you in the future. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Again, students, remember you can ask questions in the Q&A box below of any of the institutions at any time during the session. Next up, we have University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Aloha, everybody. Welcome from the 9th Island, although I wish I was back home in Hawaii with you folks. My name is Woody Hoshibata, and I'm the admissions counselor for the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. So if you folks have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to let me know. A little bit about me. Grew up in Hawaii. In 2012, packed my bags up, made my way out here to UNLV to pursue my bachelor's degree in human services counseling and also my master's degree in higher education administration. But I'm a local boy from Hawaii who graduated out there from Lelehua High School. And pursued my degrees out here on that mainland or that 9th island for you folks. Now, to kind of give you a very good snapshot of UNLV, to kind of give you an idea of all the different degrees that we offer, we have over 80 different degrees that students can definitely look into from different bachelor programs from our College of Hospitality, which we're fairly known for and definitely take pride in, where we're ranked #1 in the nation and top 2 in the world, because we have access right in our backyard to the world-renowned Strip to connect our students with robust internships, whether you're looking into our restaurant management program where we focus on culinary, but we also bring in that business side for you to run your own restaurant in the end. We have a meetings and events track. Because we're the entertainment capital of the world, we have so many different conference goers and so many visitors that come into the city, where we have this track that's dedicated towards providing large scale events and planning cool things from there. But we're also starting to see our students do pretty diverse things with this major, planning different music festivals and large scale events from there as well too. We also have a gaming and technology track, more so for the slot machines and the table games that you see out there in the casino industry that serves as a vital economic resource for us down here in Southern Nevada. And we also have a PGA golf management program, which is something a little different for my students who might be interested in golf and continuing that in the collegiate level. We also just launched our School of Medicine about 4 years ago, where we brought our first inaugural class of 60 students to get full ride scholarships for their 4 years at UNLV. We're constantly looking for doctors that want to stay down here in Las Vegas and actually practice after their time in our medical school. Being our 4th year with our School of Medicine just being opened up, all 60 of our incoming first class cohort into the School of Medicine received 100% match with the residencies moving on for them from there too. With that being said, it's allowing a lot of our health science programs now kind of start to shine in the light. Our School of Nursing, which is a very popular degree for my Hawaii students coming out here to UNLV, we bring in a total of 216 students every year into our nursing cohort now. So we just got a $900,000 grant that just allowed us to kind of expand those opportunities for our students to enter this profession. We also just moved rankings. According to Carnegie classification, UNLV is now recognized as an R1 institution. We now belong to the top 3% of colleges all across the nation right now with our research. Our goal for 2025 is to keep pushing to become a top tier institution by now finally connecting with our community. by taking a lot of these research projects and a lot of the research advancements that we're cultivating on campus, and now sharing that with our community out here in Las Vegas on our 9th island. And also our diversity. This is something that we definitely take pride in as well at UNLV. We're, according to US News World and Report, we belong to the top 5% of colleges with our diversity happening here at UNLV. UNLV is ranked as an Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander serving institution. We're a minority serving institution, and we're also a Hispanic serving institution. Whether you're looking to get connected with different peers, maybe you're looking for different mentorship opportunities to help you grow as an individual, or looking into different ways to get connected with research, we finally have those opportunities for our students to really immerse themselves on campus and really take off from there as well. Now, I briefly wanted to highlight a little bit upon our admissions requirements. UNLV is on a rolling admissions, meaning that as long as you meet one of our admissions criteria, you're going to gain admission into UNLV. Now, there's been a lot of talk. Is UNLV going to be taking test scores? What is the stance that UNLV is going to be taking? UNLV has always been test optional, meaning that if you do meet our 3.0 core GPA, meaning that we look at 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 3 years of science, and 3 years of history, we're going to average out your core courses to see if you meet our 3.0 core GPA for admission. Now, if you don't meet that 3.0 core GPA, one of the things that I'm going to reach back out to you is to encourage you to take a look into your SAT or ACT options. Now, if you do pull in a 22 ACT score or an 1120 SAT score, that can also provide you with admission to UNLV. And I briefly wanted to highlight upon the Western Undergraduate Exchange Scholarship. This is a really big one, and especially for me, for having that opportunity to come from Hawaii, and especially from Lalehua, expand my wings and come out here to the 9th island. The WUI Scholarship was a big determining factor for me. Now, the Western Undergraduate Exchange Scholarship, specifically at UNLV, does allow students to stack additional merit-based scholarships at the university, meaning that our scholarships, and what makes us unique and different amongst other institutions, is that our scholarships are 4-year renewable and stackable on any additional awards that you receive. So if you do receive the WUI Scholarship, which brings your tuition and fees down to about $12,243 for the full year at UNLV, you can stack additional merit-based scholarships and any additional scholarships that you get back home in Hawaii, like the Foodland Scholarship, Longs, and so on from there. And also our merit-based scholarships that are typically based on your weighted cumulative GPA. Now, the WUI Scholarship will cover all different majors at UNLV. We don't have a select group of majors that we will offer the WUI Scholarship. We will offer it to everybody that meets either a 3.25 unweighted GPA, or a 24 ACT score, or an 1160 SAT score. Any one of those criteria will qualify you, and you'll receive the WUI Scholarship here at UNLV. And last but not least, crossing my fingers that we'll be out there in Hawaii this coming fall, but we'll see what happens. If not, I'll definitely be available for any virtual presentations. I do have one coming up for Hawaii students. You're more than welcome to scan that code, and it's going to allow you to bring into that presentation coming up on April 2nd. Thank you, folks.
Thanks, Woody. Appreciate that. Finally, this afternoon, we have Westminster College.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Erica Johnson, and I serve as the Vice President of Enrollment Management for Westminster College in Salt Lake City. And it's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon, and thank you for joining us. So Westminster College is located just outside of the downtown area of Salt Lake City, in a neighborhood that we call the Sugar House neighborhood. And so this is a combination of the college, as well as a residential neighborhood and a really great walkable community where our students can take advantage of all kinds of restaurants and shops, local businesses, and just feel like they're really part of something that's bigger than just our campus. Because we sit just outside of the downtown Salt Lake area, our students can also take advantage of all the arts and culture, internship opportunities, and of course, easy access to the Salt Lake City Airport. For many of our students, they're also ready to get off campus and out of the city. And so they love that within a short drive of Westminster, you can reach hiking trails, great parks, the mountains, and perhaps what we're most famous for, our world-class skiing. Our student body includes about 2,000 students. About half of them come to us from outside the state of Utah. They are taught in classes that are small by design and taught by faculty, what I think of as being an uncommon commitment to our students' education and to their success. Our goal at Westminster is to provide you with an education that will challenge you, that will encourage you to think differently, and that will give you an opportunity to explore broadly. We want you to experience directly, and I'll talk about that more in just a moment. And most importantly, when you leave our campus, to be prepared for a life of meaningful work and citizenship. So how do we do this? Our students choose from more than 50 academic programs. Popular majors include the sciences, a nursing program, an honors college, and a full school of business. And many of our students take opportunities to combine multiple interests and work directly with their faculty to create their own customized major. But regardless of the major or maybe even majors that you choose, we want you to gain experiences both in and out of the classroom. So part of being a student at Westminster is to learn by doing. Right? So what does this mean? Well, for some of our biology students, this may mean doing original research at the Great Salt Lake. Computer science or business students might be interning with a tech startup in the Silicon Slopes. Or our students with an interest in geology or history or an environmental studies program might jump in the vans with their classmates and their faculty, and for a full semester, drive around the Intermountain West, studying the history, the land, the people, the culture of this space that surrounds us. So our students are busy and they lead on campus. They live in residential communities. They are engaged in the world around them, and they're seeking and working hard to try and make a difference. And three really important values at Westminster that we focus on both in and out of the classroom are leadership, equity, and inclusivity. And so our students, whether it's participating in a student club or group or in their formal classwork, are reminded of these three important values. Our students also are encouraged to think about a life of wellness. And what do we mean by that? It means that they have balanced experiences, right? They focus on academic excellence, but they also take time outside of the classroom to enjoy the location, right? To take a walk, to have an interesting conversation with their friends, to focus on their own personal wellness so that they experience success both in and out of the classroom. Another way that our students find success and stay active is through a variety of our club sports, through a member of our Division II NCAA athletics programs, or taking advantage of all the recreational opportunities that surround our campus. Applying to Westminster means submitting your Common Application. We are a test optional institution and maintain that commitment, not just this year, but in years to follow. We have special applications for our nursing school and our honors college, and we're happy to answer any questions that students may have about those additional application programs. But applying to the college is on a rolling basis, so we're able to provide admissions decisions within a few weeks of you completing your application to Westminster. And that will also include information on the college's financial aid program, both our merit-based scholarships as well as our need-based financial aid. And of course, whether it's me or one of my colleagues in the office, we are here to answer any questions that you may have about financial aid, the application process, our academic programs, or life on campus. So thank you for your attention and for joining us this afternoon. And of course, if your travel plans bring you to Salt Lake City, I'll be excited to welcome you to Westminster.
Thanks so much, Erica. Appreciate that. So before we wrap up this afternoon, I thought I would have all of the representatives come back on screen, and thought we'd answer something fun today. So I've asked them all to tell us what is their favorite event or tradition on campus. And so we'll go in the order we presented. So Colorado State University-Pueblo, you're up to bat.
Perfect. So my favorite event that we do at CSU Pueblo is our International Extravaganza. We've been running this for about 80 years on our campus. So it's been ongoing that every spring our international students and our multicultural groups on campus will get together and do a talent show and a fashion show and usually a potluck meal, really showcasing their culture and what they have contribute to our campus community. Diversity is really big for us at CSU Pueblo, and we love to promote it, and we love to learn from students who are coming from all sorts of different backgrounds and have everyone part of our PAC family. So that's been my favorite. I know we're doing it virtually this year with COVID, but we're still able to make it happen, which is exciting.
Very fun, very fun. Rick, are you still with us with Southern Methodist?
I sure am. My camera just won't turn on.
There you go. Go right ahead, sir.
All righty. So anyway, we have a great tradition called boulevarding. So there's a big entrance to the university, and during the festivities right before our football game, think of it as a carnival. There's places to eat. Every single alumni group has more food than you can imagine. There are parades. There are little kids walking around in cheerleading outfits, having the most fun. And what's really cool is that imagine August in Dallas. It's hot. So we're all nice and kind of refreshed under the trees, and all our visiting team members and families are out in a huge quad in the sun. It's our subliminal way of maybe wearing them down a little bit for the game. So once the message is sent that the game is starting, everyone walks over to the game, and it's super, super exciting. And so we don't tailgate at SMU, we boulevard, and that's the name of the big entrance to campus, the SMU Boulevard.
Very fun. Patrick, what do you got for us with Linfield?
Yeah, each year at the start of the school year, we do a convocation to celebrate the beginning of the year. And part of that is the tradition of the acorn. We have a huge oak grove on campus. And there's an old proverb about mighty oaks from little acorns grow. And so each new student will take an acorn. They'll keep it for 4 years to represent their growth. And then at graduation, they actually bring it back and return it to a bowl that's made out of an old oak tree that used to be the symbol of the institution, really. And they really do keep their acorns for 4 years. We give them a little box, and even this year with pandemic times, we were able to do that. And each student still got their acorn. So we'll look forward to seeing the class of 2021 returning theirs via commencement this spring. So it's really, really very cool.
Very fun. Thank you. What about Embry Riddle?
Yeah, so my favorite tradition that we have here at Embry Riddle is our homecoming. I think that we are the only school that I know of that has an air show put on for our students for our homecoming. We have a perfect football record here at Embry Riddle because we don't have a football team. So we have a flight team, and we have our flight team perform. We have old World War II style aircraft fly in. We have jets come up from Luke Air Force Base down in Phoenix. We have a bunch of just really cool acrobatic aircraft performances come up. All the students stand on the runway at the Prescott Regional Airport. We all watch the planes fly by. There's an alumni breakfast, pancake breakfast in the morning, and it's just a really great time to really celebrate the aviation spirit that is so important to Embry Riddle.
That sounds actually pretty fun. So what about University of Nevada, Las Vegas? What do you got for us, Woody?
Oh, it would be UNLV Premiere. It's a big kickoff at the start of the semester. We invite everybody to come out to enjoy some free food and entertainment. And I know as a college student, you can't go wrong with free food, but just another way to connect with a lot of our incoming students who are coming in with your freshman class, and also our upperclassmen as well too. We've been breaking a Guinness World Record of the most simultaneously lights lit at the same time. And at the ending of the night, they launch off some fireworks. They kind of light up these light sticks, and they broke in the Guinness World Record, I believe in 2017 for us. So just another opportunity to meet students who are coming in from Hawaii and also all across the nation and all across the world.
Very fun. And Erica, wrap us up with Westminster.
One of my favorite traditions on campus is how we end each academic year. We call it May Term. It's a 3-week end of the year experience where students take one class, but these aren't your typical classes. Right? Faculty work really hard to create interesting and creative classes. And one of my favorite on the list is a class entirely devoted to chocolate. And so the students over that 3-week period do everything from study the environmental impact of chocolate growing, to the trade of chocolate, all the way to working with a craft chocolate producer in Salt Lake, where the students get to go and create their own chocolate brand as part of the class. So it's a fun way for our students to end the year, maybe explore something that wouldn't be part of their regular experience, and get to make a few connections off campus as well.
I'm hungry now. Thanks, I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this afternoon. On behalf of the institutions in StriveScan, certainly wish you a wonderful rest of your day. We do have one session left if you want to sign up. If not, please feel free to fill out the survey when you click off and out of here. Everybody take care, be well, bye-bye.